What's up with you? How you doing? So I just got back from the scrapyard, went and grabbed a couple of things I needed for the old F150. I got some stuff for the dash. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that today because I know I need to get the instrument cluster replaced. So if I have to pull the dash again to get the instrument cluster out, I'm not with the new dash and it's just not worth it. But I found one that's in really, really good shape, so I'm gonna keep it here. For this time, this thing needs to get changed because that's just butt ugly and really basic for an XLT in my opinion. So what did I do? I went and stole an Expedition one. I just think it was a whole lot cleaner. So I'm not gonna record the whole thing because it's really, really, really simple. I'll show you what you got to do to get it off. It's really easy. It's a 7mm and head. So first you pull off your cover, right? Yank that whole thing off. Underneath of there is going to be two 7mm bolts. Underneath of this is some screws. You pull that. You got to pull this corner lamp out. Both sides have to come out. Then there's two screws hiding back here. You pull those out. And then back here, you're not going to be able to see it probably. But right there, you have to yank those two clips out to get to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it chained, and we'll see what it looks like afterwards. Sorry if I look rough. It's like 102 degrees outside and humid because it's North Carolina. Hey! So check it out. There you go. So it's not set yet, right? Obviously I put the headlights in. Cool thing about the F-150 headlights versus the Expedition headlights I didn't realize beforehand, they're all one piece. So when you go to pull them out with the pins that come up top that slide out, that, you know, just like your Chevys and your older Chevys, your older Fords have those slide locks that you pull out. They all come out as one piece, which actually makes it really nice and easy. There's no hidden screws or anything. So let me get these headlights slapped back in, make sure everything's adjusted right, and we'll see what it looks like at the very end. Here it is. It's done. I think that cleans it up so stinking much. Like, that's just so much more clean looking. My God. That should have been factory. That's crazy. But, I mean, really, guys, that's like, if you happen to be rebuilding one of these yourself, guys, that's 5 minutes. I mean, really. 6 bolts on the top, 4 bolts for your cover, 2 bolts behind each turn signal, and a little bit of elbow grease. And you'll pop those slides right out and put the new one in and undo or redo everything you just undid. 5 minutes, it's super simple. Now, I think I'm going to go ahead and at least pull the old dash cover off because I'm really sick of looking at this. I'm just really tired of it. I did find some seats, but none of them were worth taking out. I found one that was super duper nice, but it was from an extended cab. So the problem is the seat belt was on your door, you know, where it hangs on the door versus in the back of the seat. So I didn't pull it. It wasn't worth it. That's down on the list. Right now I'm looking all cosmetic. So I think I'm gonna at least replace the dash pad and go from there. So here's kind of a shot of what it looks now. Right, cracked, broken, ugly. That's just barely hanging on. I'll show you the parts I picked up from the pick and pull so you can take a look at it. If you hear any Led Zeppelin, I'm sorry. Not about Led Zeppelin, but the fact that, you know, it's Led Zeppelin's music. This is the only spot right here I don't like, but that's, other than that, I'm pretty stoked about it. And I'll show you the dash I picked up. Not a single crack to be seen. And the funny thing is this had windshield laying all over when I got there, but it was the cleanest dash in there. So I grabbed that and I got the centerpiece right there. So, and yes, I am going to swap the vents. So it's not the tan vents with the black insert with the gray dash. I'm gonna swap my vents into it. So let's get after it. Done. So I didn't know what I was doing. I was just kind of running. Never really stopped. Just kind of did things. There was some carnage. definitely some carnage involved. Like I pulled that dash, sit on the ground and shattered. Just shattered into a million pieces. The only thing holding it together was this 200-mile-an-hour tape right here. That's it. It's all holding together. So, guys, these dashes are not a whole lot of fun. Okay, they're gonna break. Unless you buy brand new parts, they're gonna break. All right. So I'll try to talk you through this. All right. So first and foremost, there's a screw right here. See if I can get you to see that. Where am I? I can't see anything. Right there. Okay. First, that will release this side. All right. Now, there is a screw behind this piece. You have to pop this out to get to that screw. Okay. See, if you're like me and you really don't care, you can just break it off. It will still sit where you need it to sit. Okay. Let me clean this lens. Much better. Okay, once you pull this out, there's a screw here, here, and here. Okay, they are all 7mm because it's a Ford. They're all 7mm. Okay, pop those three out. Come over here, pop this out. Okay, this is all just hang tabs. All right, so you just put a little elbow grease into it, you can pull it right off. Okay. Make sure you keep all of those because chances are they're going to try and fall down into this knee bolster here. Just keep an eye on it. Now, once you pull that off, there's a screw here, 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 and here, and here, and here. There, here, and there. Okay. This knee bolster, or this steering column cover comes off super simple. There's a pop tab here, here, and on the opposite side here and here. You just yank that bad boy out. Do that. Pull this cluster part off, then you can get to pulling this off. I caution you, these things are hella fragile. All right, if you put too much pressure on it, it will crack. Okay, so definitely be careful. Now, once you have all that, everything comes off pretty simply, and then it's just reverse. You do not have to put this in park or in gear 1. If you just pull it to you, it'll work just fine. Okay. Other than that, everything is pretty simple. Now, I caution you, there are two different types of radio slash HVAC controller panels here. Now, if you get one like I got, which is kind of a little more fancy in my opinion, it's going to have this piece here and it's going to have fatter sides. You will need to trim those sides down to make them fit like you want. I use a grinder, it worked just fine. Other than that, it really wasn't too bad. If it wasn't 110 degrees today, it would have been a cake and a half. So, but there's a finished product. Now my next, and that's pretty much that. The next project I have to fix is this behemoth of crap right here. That needs to get fixed. So I'm gonna go over that when I get to that part. I do want to show you one more time just how much cleaner the front end looks with the Expedition front end. I think it looks so much better. So that's that. Anyway, guys, I'm out of here. I'm gonna go sit in the AC for a while and drink a few beers and relax. Y'all have yourselves a great weekend. The next thing I have to do, I bought a new side-by-side. So sit tight for that. The Wolverine is in the shop. Apparently the 3 years it sat in storage allowed the fuel and water to separate, and the engine hydrolocked because of water. Guess who's on the hook for that? $3 grand. Yup. So that's getting fixed. I went and bought a new side-by-side. I'll cover that next video. The old 90 Cherokee's gone. I had to cut off my arm to save my hand, so that's what I did. I'll go over the Arctic Cat that I bought next video. So anyways, y'all have a great weekend. Much love. Peace out.